Welcome in, everybody. I am finally back. Steve is not here this week, but I do have our friend Dave with me. Dave, welcome in.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row for me. This is a new
2
record.
weeks in a row for you. This week, we are going to talk about the Bridgestone golf ball. Our friends at Bridgestone, we were at the PGA show a few weeks ago, and Steve, who's not here with us this week, did an interview with Adam, for one of the minds behind the Bridgestone golf ball, and talked to him about their new line. So, Dave, I think we get right into it, and let's send it over to Steve and Adam with Bridgestone.
Pass Steve.
Hey everybody, it's Steve from the Golfing Dads, and I am here with my favorite people in the world because he knows way more about golf balls than I ever will, or anybody else on our podcast for that matter. And we are with Adam at Bridgestone, home of that mindset technology, that Bridgestone golf ball. And you guys saw a while back I did an unboxing video with these new golf balls. And we've got Adam here today to talk about these new golf balls because I know how cool they are, but I don't know anything about the tech. So Adam, what do we got here?
Well, what we're looking at is an R&D material discovery. There's a new mantle layer technology, a mantle core integration on the new Tour B. We're launching the new 2026 Tour B, which features this new Velo Surge technology, which is a core mantle integration that's really designed to increase ball speed, but also make the golf ball fly straighter. And we have a good little presentation here of the new technology. On the top here is our previous lighter version of the mantle layer. And then down here at the bottom, what you see this green is the new Velo Surge. And it is a more dense and heavier material layer that's put into the golf ball, which does two things. One, by moving weight to the outside of the golf ball, it's where you impact the club, which adds efficiencies of ball speed and smash factor, so increased ball velocity. Secondly, by moving that weight to the outside of the ball, you increase the MOI of the golf ball. When you think of MOI, we always think of clubs and moving it around to combat gear effect or launch it higher, more forgiving. Same thing with the golf ball. When you move weight to the perimeter of the ball, by increasing that MOI, it makes the golf ball more forgiving and has higher axis stability. And axis stability means when the ball's flying through the air, it flies straighter. Okay. And one of the things we heard from our pros, they can see all the flight. They pick out the small nuances. But from our amateurs, when we did a large amount of testing with over 100 amateurs, one thing we kept hearing over and over from those guys is, did you guys change the dimple because this ball's flying straighter?
Yeah.
We said, no, it's due to that higher MOI factor of that golf ball. So two things with Velo Surge, more speed off the tee, straighter shots.
So let me ask you this, and I'm asking this question for Dave on our podcast. Now with the new stuff that goes to the bottom, does that mean his golf ball will sink faster when he hits it in the water?
No, it's just a weight distribution. No, they still all sink.
They still all sink.
We haven't figured that out yet.
All right, had to ask that question for Dave because we're looking out for him here. So these guys have put it in play. Obviously, you guys are 1 for 1 on the PGA Tour there in 2026. You had Chris Goddard win with this model last week. Talk about that. Talk about the response from the tour players and getting into play and obviously winning last week.
Yeah, we're super excited about that. I mean, you can't win them all until you win the first, so
Correct.
We're 1 for 1. But yeah, Chris it was phenomenal to test with him during that prototyping stage, and he played the VS Black for a few weeks leading up until the Sony. So he was really excited about the performance. And a lot of these guys, tour guys, they're not going to change if it's less than what they have or maybe even equal. It has to feel like an improvement on the previous ball. And what those guys saw, Chris saw a 2.1 increase in ball speed when we did testing with him. And then obviously at Sony, he just played so phenomenal, flighting the ball, shaping it.
There was a tee shot I saw him hit. It was on 9, I think, on Friday in the wind that literally was just like 30 feet off the ground and just flighted it perfectly.
Oh, I know.
And this ball just bored through the wind. It was awesome to watch.
He talks about when he actually came to us, like out of college, he just won the Haskins Award, and he was looking for a ball to turn pro with. Yeah. And he came to Covington, and it was a very windy day in Covington, and he talks about how he saw the ball just perform better than what he was used to with his previous ball. He likes to work the ball. We saw that. He phased the ball. He can draw it when he needs to, like he did on 18. But he likes to work the ball. So he likes to be able to work the ball. He doesn't need it spinning too high or, overcutting, which turns into a slice for most of us.
Right.
But, he was really excited and good feedback after we talked to him after the round. And he was just so pleased with the performance. And, the thing he said was, I don't have to think about the ball. It does what I need.
Yeah.
I trust it. It's one thing that you can just kind of take away and not have to worry about during your round.
You guys have Jason Day, obviously. There were
Yes.
some gains I heard. We were talking yesterday, gains on what he did with the golf ball.
Right.
Obviously, there's the guy standing behind us there in the middle, and that Tiger, and he changed a couple years ago to the BX.
Yes, he did switch to the X. Yeah.
And someone who is that particular in his game, there's the stories of him talking about the lighter driver.
Exactly.
And they were all the same club heads, and they weighed them more.
Yes.
And one of them was like half an ounce lighter or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
How hard is it when you talk to these guys, when especially launching a new ball, to say, hey, we've got this new ball, it's better, it does this, to get them to obviously go and change into that new golf ball?
Yeah, the tour guys are very particular. They see the small nuances of things that most of us maybe not see. So when they're doing testing, the ball, they're a lot of times they're comfortable with the way the ball's reacting.
Yeah.
So they don't want to see outliers. Like when Tiger hits a shot and he looks up, he wants to see it go through a certain window.
Yep.
And even though it necessarily might not be a negative thing, if he hits a prototype and it's in a different window, for him, that's not right.
Right.
So it needs to do things that he's used to, launch lower off the irons, and, high launch, low spin off the driver. So when we moved him to the X a few years ago, it wasn't one of those things where, talking to him, I was like, are you sure? Because you love XS.
Yeah.
You love that spin around the green. So talking with him, I kind of asked him, like, are you sure about X? And he's like, oh, yeah, I've been kind of messing with it. I've been back and forth.
Yeah.
And, what he's leaning to kind of now is a little more pop off the tee, which is X.
Yeah.
XS has that spin and control and flightiness around the greens.
Yeah.
But he talked about that little bit more pop off the tee that X gives him. And that's kind of a lot of our tour guys that gravitate in the X because of that balance. If a player needs more spin, which some of them do, we've got a couple Corn Ferry guys on the XS and one or two tour players. But X is a really balanced golf ball, a good balance of spin around the greens and distance off the tee.
Now, on Tuesday here at Demo Day, I did a ball fitting with you guys, and I have gone back and forth between the X and the XS myself. I'm on that cusp. I'm not Tiger swing speed or anywhere near that. Most mortals aren't. But when you look at that, and I found that I actually had better results from the XS ball.
Right. Yeah.
Only because I was getting a little more pop off the tee. I actually had to spin down.
Yes.
Because of my golf swing. When you talk about the ball fitting process that you guys do and being fit for a golf ball, can you go into that and why it's so important to find that right golf ball?
So we've been doing ball fitting for over 20 years now at Bridgestone. We fit over 4.5 million golfers. So we've really dove into that data from all those years. And we designed the golf ball based on what we see from an R&D perspective. At the end of every year, we throw all that data to our R&D team, and they really dive into it and look. So ball fitting is super important. It's what you use on every shot.
Right.
Whether you tap in a 2-inch putt or trying to hit a 300-yard drive, it's a ball, it's a piece of equipment that is used on every one. And Tiger has always said it best. It's the most important equipment in his bag.
Yeah.
And he has said that get the ball right, and then you work backwards from there with everything else. So for the everyday consumer, you kind of described it well. I mean, we don't recommend Tiger's ball to everybody.
Right.
It might not fit every player.
Right.
And it's just dependent on your performance, your spin metrics, your launch angle, how you're delivering the club to the ball. We look at all those things and we try to match up a ball that works best for that particular player, not just pass down tour balls to everybody.
And your 4 models of balls between the X, the XS, the RXS, and the RX fit every type of golfer at the pro level golf ball, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have 2 models that are a little bit softer compression that are designed for swing speeds under 105, and then we have 2 that are designed for swing speeds over 105. So it's basically like Tiger's ball, and then we have the RX that's kind of more designed like Tiger's ball for the everyday player.
Nice. Now, I have seen you guys have these Boom It hats here. I do want to get into this. And I remember back in the day, there was a guy named Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're familiar with him.
Yes, I am.
So
love that guy.
What's the deal with the Boom It?
When we launched the brand in 2005, we launched a campaign kind of around Fred, and it was Boom It. And when the B330 first came out, Fred was Boom Boom.
Yep.
So we put Boom It on the ball, and we talked a lot about it. So a little callback to our launch of the Tour B brand or the Bridgestone brand.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Adam, thank you for joining us today.
Yes,
we really appreciate this.
Yes, thank you so much.
Look forward to us talking about not only the mindset technology that we've already covered,
Yes.
but this new Tour B lineup of golf balls. So thank you. Hey everybody, it's Steve, and I am here with Brady. Brady, thank you for joining us. Come on in here. Let's do some talk. We're going to do a little ball fitting today, and you guys know we're big Bridgestone fans. We're big fans of the mindset. I kind of alternate between the Tour XS and the Tour X, the Tour BX and the Tour XS. So what I want to do, Bridgestone, you're the number one ball fitter. Let's go through a fitting on those two models, see which one's best for me. How's that sound today?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to start with?
Let's start with the X.
Start with the X.
See how we look there?
Yeah. Let's do that.
There you go.
Awesome.
Tommy, no, you're right by our factory. Yeah. I saw your shirt.
All right.
Oh, you are?
You can talk through what he's doing here.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, let's see here.
Sit in the middle of cup face.
So we did 3,800 spin there,
Ooh, that's
136 ball speed, about 12 launch angle, 206 in the air there. So let's hit another one of those.
Yeah. That spin rate's a little high on that. Catch on the upswing.
I was there.
We get there.
We did 138 ball speed, 14.6 launch, 3,600 spin, just a little bit of cut spin, and about 216 in the air.
One more here.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's gonna change your distance.
All right, 138, 18.1, a little spinny there.
A little spinny.
Yeah, we did a little spinny there, about 197. So we want to switch and try XS and see how that feels.
Let's see what that does.
All right, let me trade with you here. XS.
XS. Here we go.
Oh, that's right. Oh, how was it close?
That's a good one there. We did about 225 in the air, 140 ball speed, nice high launch, 16.4, 3,200 spin, and just a little cut on it.
Spin rate's down.
Yep. Yeah, we got that spin rate down.
That one was Healy.
Little Healy there, a little bit of a spinner. Let's see, ball speed wise, we did 137.5, 13.6 launch angle, about 4,000 spin, 204 in the air.
That was way.
And try one more of this?
One more, yeah. I knew that was spinnier once it went off the heel. Ugh. I just love looking down and seeing that mindset on the back of the ball.
Yeah, a lot of people use that as kind of the target, hit that back of the ball right on there.
That one wasn't hit that well.
See there, just with kind of little drop kicky, but we did 1,700, got the draw spin going there, 131 ball speed, 226 carry though, so you get some good run out on that. But I mean, just from what we're seeing here, I like that. Yeah, you're getting the spin down more with XS.
Yeah,
your carry's up and your ball speed's up, so it would definitely be a better fit for you than the X.
XS. All right,
absolutely.
awesome. Well, Brady, thank you for your time today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Appreciate you doing fitting with us.
Yeah.
So I do apologize for anyone watching live there. Was a little bit laggy. Don't know. That's just the live internet, why that happened. I will re-release that video on our YouTube and Facebook page so that you can all see the interview with Bridgestone and Adam. because Dave, you and I got to try these golf balls out.
Mhm.
We also got the prototypes sent to us, and I gotta say, we've been using the Bridgestone Mindsets. I've been using the B Tour RX model, and this new Velo Surge, I could actually feel the difference when we played on Sunday after the PGA show.
Yeah.
In the golf ball, it just felt different. I don't know what it was. It felt like it performed better, but it just felt better off of the face than the last model. And we loved the last model. What were your thoughts on that?
See, and here's the thing. I kind of made the switch last year when they put the mindset on the E series, and I played those E12 straights. But as my golf game got a little bit better because I was playing a little bit more this year, I found myself reverting back to the Tour BRX, which is the ball that we both got fitted for about 2 years ago when we first went down this avenue with Bridgestone. And I've plugged the numbers into their website. And if you haven't had a chance, go to the Bridgestone Golf website. You could do a virtual ball fitting on there. Even if you don't know what your swing speeds is or anything, if say you play the TaylorMade Pro V1 left dash or Titleist Pro V1 left dash or a TaylorMade TP5X, you could put those balls in there on how you play and everything else, and the virtual AI for Bridgestone will give you which one of the Bridgestone balls would be the best fit for you. So you don't actually have to go and get a professional fit. You could do it right on their website as well too.
I will say doing it on their website is you can compare what golf ball you use now, and it'll recommend one for you. But all around with these Bridgestone golf balls, the thing that has been the most impressive for me is just the feel and performance. And that's what you want in a golf ball. And getting fit for the right golf ball, I don't think most people realize that you get fit for clubs, you get fit for like the clothing you wear, the hat you wear, everything. But a lot of people just skip the golf ball. Your shoes. They just think that, every golf ball is the same. It's not.
Yeah.
I would tell you, between the four lines of the B model, the RX, the RS, the X, and the XS, I've hit all of them, and I like the performance I get out of the RX, and that's what the numbers show. But Steve, who you saw in the interview there, he plays the X, and he likes the performance out of that, and you can see the difference that you have when you're playing a different ball. So getting fit is important, but also this ball, the performance on any of their models will help your game out. So check out BridgestoneGolf.com. All right. There's a lot going on in the golf world this week besides our golf ball. Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Where should we start?
I'm going to start with the time finally came. Let's talk about last week. Let's talk about Torrey Pines and the Farmers Insurance Open. Brooks Koepka made his debut.
I picked him.
So you picked him, Dave. How did you think his performance was for his first week back on the PGA Tour?
I didn't think he made the cut. He finished down towards the bottom. But he played well. There I didn't see a whole lot of I spent some time
T56.
Watching his group play. And he's a good golfer that he had an off week is kind of where I'm going to put it at. This is what these guys do for a living, whether you're switching from live to the PGA or going to the DP World Tour or going and playing, out in Asia or the Korn Ferry Tour. You play golf for a living and you tee it up, and maybe there were some nerves there, but Brooks is a consummate professional in everything here. And you go out and you play a golf course, and that's what you do for a living. And I don't think it was a bad round for him. I think he missed a couple putts here and there. He said he wasn't reading the greens very well this week. He was kind of relying on his caddy for all of his green reads. And I just think as he gets back into the normal stream of PGA Tour competition, all that stuff goes away.
That's true. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think it was getting back into that normal PGA routine. This is kind of what I expected from him this week. I wanted to pick him like you did, but I didn't because I thought that his getting back in his first event on the PGA Tour, there's going to be a lot of pressure there. There's going to be a lot of nerves on his end that I thought might get the better of him. But I thought overall he played well. He made the cut and he performed. So it was what I kind of hoped out of him this week. And I hope we see a little better performance this week at the Waste Management. So,
yeah.
But congratulations to Justin Rose on his dominant win.
I tell you what, the guy goes and gets the first albatross in TGL history, and then goes out and just runs away with the field. But Justin Rose isn't the story that I want to talk about here.
About the Torrey Pines?
About Torrey Pines.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. We're going to get to that.
We're going to get to that, yes.
That's next. But I just want to say congratulations to Justin Rose because he had an amazing week. And it's for all of us in our 40s and getting into our 50s. You look at Justin Rose and we can still do it. It just gives us all hope out there. So thank you, Justin Rose, for making it a fun event this week and just running away with the field. It was fun to watch him. There were so many storylines this week. Like I said, Brooks Koepka, Justin Rose doing what he did and kind of having that dominant performance this week in a great field.
Yes.
Now, but the story that I think caught all of our hearts is a story that caught all of our hearts in the first season of Full Swing, and Joel Damon.
Yes. He is.
Joel Damon made a great comeback.
Everyman. Yes.
He is. And it was
He's
fun
John Daly without
him.
John Daly.
Yeah. It really is. And so what were your thoughts as he was playing this week? What were your thoughts watching him play?
I thought he pulled it all together this week, and I think he had one of the better quotes coming into Sunday, saying, "I think the only way I can catch Justin Rose is if he oversleeps."
Yeah.
But he took a little bit of a tumble, there on Sunday. I think the pressure actually got to him on Sunday a little bit. He's playing on a contingency status, this year, and we'll see what happens. But you want the best for him, and I think everybody learned a lot about him in that first season of Full Swing. We've known about him, for a while here with this, and he just brings, I'm not having a great round. I think I'll have a beer and a couple shots and go out there and do it again.
He's kind of like Kurt Signetti from IU, where it's just like, I'm going to go have a beer and have fun with it. He takes it seriously, but he doesn't let it bother him too much, which is great to see. And I like that. I like that about him. I like that he's out there. Like you said, he's that every man for everybody that's out there. He also makes us feel like any of us can do this. So I can't wait to see what he does next week at the Waste Management in his hometown.
When you ask the Waste Management when on a polo for
a sponsor's exemption.
To get in. So
and he's been fun to watch at the Waste Management in years past.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that.
What we need is, I think Bert Kreischer needs to be an on-course reporter with that group, and I think that would be outstanding.
That would be hilarious. Or if he's just on 16 at least, if nothing else. So even Bert Kreischer, if you are watching this show, first of all, thank you and why. But we really appreciate it. You are a golf fan. But if you are, just get a ticket to the Waste Management. We'll send you a microphone, and you can just report live from your experience there.
Because you are a golfing dad as well, too.
Exactly. He is a golfing dad. All right, so let's move topics now. We're going to talk about, really, this is going to be a live segment for us here, because we got two live and one former live that we're going to talk about here. So first off, Dave, the news dropped that finally Liv is getting world golf ranking points. And I know we don't have Steve here, so I will first give Steve's argument that it's a team event and team events shouldn't get them, and that he always says that, oh, this person didn't make this putt because it was better for his team, and
making sure the
that
horse
affects
didn't run
world.
behind me.
I know. Yeah. So we know Steve's feelings, but what are your feelings on Liv getting world golf points?
I've been the complete opposite. I've thought that they should have had it. For a while they're playing team, and I know Steve would chime in right here saying, but you can't miss putts when you have a chance to win the tournament, to win the team competition. Fair. But you're looking at this, you're going to get the top 10 are going to get basically half points, going forward, which is some is better than none right now. I think there's going to be some golfers here that are going to benefit from it. Just looking at the end of 2025, if Liv would have earned the OWGR points, you would have had Bryson, John Rahm, Terrell Hatton, Patrick Reed, and Tom McKibben in the top 100.
Okay.
Based on their finishes with Liv and where they finished in PGA major events that they were playing in. So those would have been your Liv golfers. They're making up enough points to be in the top 100. So I think this is it's an olive branch of sorts from the PGA. I still think,
well, not from the PGA, from the World Golf Rankings.
World Golf Rankings, but I think it extends an olive branch between the two. We've heard comments again that there's such a divide between the two. We've seen Brooks jump ship. We'll get in the Brysons comments here in a little bit, but I think this is a way to slowly try and bring the game back together, because it's a fractured game right now. You may enjoy it, we may all love it, but the game right now, until the dust settles, it's fractured, and the best in the world are not doing the best in the world.
Well, I disagree with that. I think the best in the world are on the PGA Tour. I think that being on Liv is different. I think it's more of a team event. I'd like to see it be more of a team event, but I like that the World Golf Ranking officials looked at this. They looked at it over time. They didn't just say, nope, you get them, which is kind of what Greg Norman wanted when he was in charge. He was like, why don't we get them? We should get them. He had no reasoning behind it.
No.
But they went to 72 holes, which we'll get into the comment about that in a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they looked at this and said, okay, you have a shorter field, so not everyone's going to get points. We're going to do it for just your top 10 in this field. So I thought they looked at the bigger picture, and like you said, it helps bring things together. It helps unite golf, which I think is a good thing overall. So am I glad that they did it? Yes. But I also think that I would have been okay if they didn't do it, because I think that it would have been fine.
You're right. I think it just would have extended the Liv narrative. Well, nobody cares, but this is at least, it's a small monkey, off of everybody's back. That it's just not going to drive the conversation. Now, Liv's point is going to be, well, why can't we get more? A cookie is a cookie. Take it and eat it.
Yeah, I think they're happy with what they got. I think they're happy that they finally got it. I think they realize where they are. And I think this is a good thing for Liv to help them move forward as an organization, that if this is to become something bigger, that they needed to realize this and move forward from it. So I'm happy for Liv that they can kind of get over this hurdle and move forward with their event. But to do this, they had to make some changes. And one of those changes was they were always going to be 54 holes, but now they have to be 72 holes. So that had to change. And they did that in kind of a way that, like, I think upset some people. And I think the writing on the wall of maybe a lot of people didn't leave just for the money. Bryson DeChambeau, I would say, he left for the money, but he also left because he liked the 52-hole format. Or 54-hole format.
54.
54. I subtracted 2. 54-hole format.
We're not
And
good at
now
math.
He's coming and saying that, hey, I'm not so happy about this. He's also hasn't extended a contract. His contract ends at the end of this year. With other people jumping ship, we have Brooks Koepka took the first option, and now Patrick Reed is taking a different avenue because he didn't qualify for that option that Brooks Koepka had.
Mm-hmm.
But he has an option that we'll get into here in a minute. Bryson's now looking at this, and I think, is he looking for an excuse that, hey, if I was going to play 72 holes, I would have rather stayed on the PGA Tour and played against those people? That's what I'm reading from this? What are you seeing from his comments about not being happy about this?
I think it's Bryson is a very polarizing character, and
True.
we'll call him that. He's a YouTube creator. He's out there, with 3D printed shafts. When he first broke onto the scene, he was modeling Payne Stewart. He was very brash, and we've kind of seen the evolution of Bryson DeChambeau play out really in front of our eyes. I don't think right now he fits the live model, but I also don't think he fits the PGA model right now either. Bryson he's in that area where he wants to be the owner of his own content. He has his YouTube channel, he has all this, and in each direction you're going to go, the PGA is not going to let him do one thing. Live isn't going to let him do one thing. And I think it's a very polarizing dichotomy that is going to change the way we kind of perceive golf moving forward. We've seen the PGA, that extension that they put out there. It's coming. I think they have until the 5th, or was it February 1st?
It's like right before. It's like next week. It's coming up before the list.
It's coming up.
It's this week. They have till tomorrow.
So, but I really think if Bryson moves forward, he's going to bring some different things to the table for the PGA that they may not be ready for. Whereas at least with Liv, he already has that established. So it'll be interesting to see, how this, moves forward throughout the rest of the year.
Well, I think things are coming into focus here a little bit more with the Liv and the PGA Tour. And speaking of coming into focus, if you are looking for focus on the golf course, check out the Nikon line of rangefinders and the Cool Shot Pro 3 stabilizer. This thing locks onto your target. If your hand's shaking, it stabilizes. It's like having a camera that has that shake or shock. I can't talk. But if you are looking for the best rangefinder in the business, check out Nikon rangefinders for all your rangefinder needs. But
official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour and the Golfing Dads.
There you go. But like we're saying with Bryson, I think we have seen the evolution, like you said, of Bryson as a young kid getting on here, thinking he has to be one thing, trying to find a name for himself and going through different phases. Like you said, he had the Payne Stewart phase. Then he became kind of that villain phase for a while with Brooks. But then when they went to Live, that kind of dissolved, and he found his niche on being a YouTube star, being fun, having fun on the golf course. That's where he found a name for himself. And I think you're right. I don't think the PGA Tour is ready for that yet. I think they need to embrace it more because I think they have a lot of great personalities out there that this can help grow the game from a younger aspect, because that's what a lot of younger people are watching. So I think that's a big thing. And I think they need to really look at that. But it's been fun to kind of see Bryson's evolution over the years. And I want to see what that's going to be like next. And if he comes back, I hope he comes back to the PGA Tour, because I think he could do a lot for just the game of golf. And I think he can do a lot better on the PGA Tour versus Live. And I'm not trying to knock Live there. I just think they have a better platform for this.
I think the last point, I think some of these guys are, as they're coming in near the end of the contract, and we saw Brooks left, and Patrick Reed, which we'll get into here, I think they've outgrown the live model.
I do.
I think
true.
they were at one point of their career, and now they're in a different. And I think they've outgrown the live model.
Dave, you gave me the perfect segue. If you have kids and they've outgrown their clubs, you need to check out Upswing. That was the perfect segue, Dave. Upswing Golf has the perfect clubs for your kids. They are adjustable. The shafts, this is for my 5-year-old. This is his driver. And when he grows, you just change the shaft out and they grow with you. It is a much better model. They are the official partner junior clubs for the Golfing Dads. And we had a fun time hitting these at the PGA show. We had a long drive contest when we played on Sunday. But if you are looking for clubs for your kids, they have a boys and girls line out there now. And to be honest,
the girls line is sweet.
I like the fire look on the girls line. But these clubs are unbelievable. Dave, you hit a drive with this driver longer than you hit one with your actual driver.
Well, because my actual driver, I think, went out to the road.
It did go out to the road. And I can prove that your driver wasn't broken because I hit it just fine.
Yes, I know.
And those drivers, if you're looking for a driver for yourself, check out Cobra Golf. And their new line of drivers just came out. We hit those at the show. We'll have an interview with their designer coming up here in a few weeks. But Cobra drivers for your adult drivers, for your regular golfer, and Upswing for your kids' clubs.
And Greg, you hit a different drive because mine is different than yours. Because mine is the DS Max.
Yours is the Max, and I hit the LS for low spin on mine for it. But I gotta say, I liked it in yours. I did.
Yeah.
I put a fade on my ball most of the time, and I liked that with yours. I was hitting a draw, and I didn't know what to do with the draw. But with the Future Fit 33 technology, you can change your settings on there on the Cobra drivers, and it is a game changer. It is a cheat code, as we like to say here on the Golfing Dads.
And if you ever forget what your settings are, they have a QR code right on it, and it brings you up to a nice little website right there. That
I love that you have that up
difference.
and ready. Like, that's perfect.
So,
all right,
that's what I do
now.
Let's talk our last live thing, and then we got to talk the LPGA a little bit here. But let's talk our last.
Okay, let's
start
our last live thing real quick here. Well, it's not even live anymore. It is DP World Tour and hopefully back to the PGA Tour for Mr. Patrick Reed. Captain America has said he is not under contract anymore with live. His contract ended in his last event in August, which is important to this because he did not qualify the same way that Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Brooks Koepka qualified to come back to the PGA Tour. He has to go a different route. He has to serve a 1-year suspension from his last live event, which was in August. So August of 2026, he can officially play in PGA events. But to come back, he has two options.
He's trying to win his way back right now.
That's number one. He does get an exemption from being a past champion on the PGA Tour and in majors. He gets something from that, so he can play in some events. But to get his full status back, he would have to finish in the top 10 of non-PGA players on the DP World Tour. What do you think about this?
He won his first event, and then he lost he lost in a playoff in his second event. So
I thought you were going to say he won last week, and I'm like, oh no, he lost.
No, he won his first event and then lost in a playoff in his second event. And we've never doubted the skill level of Patrick Reed as a golfer. We've questioned some of the integrity choices that he has made while on the golf course. But again, I think he's grown up a little bit as well too. It'll be interesting to see. You rewind the clock, 6 years? And I faded out the black here. There we go. You rewind the clock, 3 Ryder Cups ago, and he was Captain America, and everybody loved him.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know if everybody loved him. I'm pretty sure the European side didn't love him.
The Europeans, but everybody on this side of the pond loved him.
That's true.
So
Well,
I think his ability is there. He's a past Masters champion, so we get to see him play, every year there. So it'll be interesting. That Masters dinner is going to be interesting this year with
very
Patrick
interesting.
Reed, with Phil, with John
Rahm.
Rahm,
DeChambeau. No, DeChambeau's not there.
DeChambeau. I was going to say DeChambeau and Brooks aren't there yet.
No.
So
They've won
that's,
other majors.
more so than what it has been in the past when Liv first started. Now that you're seeing guys coming back off of Liv to get back to the tour, I think that dinner just got a little bit more interesting this year.
So, Dave, I'm going to ask you this question. With Brooks Koepka coming back, I looked at that as like, oh, I didn't see Brooks really in that Liv model. I didn't think that was for him. So I was like, okay, I think that, yeah, you're coming back. But ever since then, I feel like the cracks are showing, and it has been interesting to see that people that I thought fit the model, like a Bryson DeChambeau, and now Patrick Reed, are saying that, hey, I want to come back to the PGA Tour. Do you think there's something that we're not privy to that is happening on either the Liv negotiations or what their perceptions were when they first signed their contracts to what they are as they're renewing their contracts? Do you think there's something that we're missing, that we're not hearing about, that is driving them almost back to the tour?
I think it's the 72 holes. And
okay,
look, if we're going to play 72 holes, I may as well go back to the tour and do it that way. I think that's where it comes down to, because we'll say the Steve part out loud. They need to figure out what they are, and if they're team golf or they're individual. And I think Patrick Reed wasn't a team captain of his own team. And I think that may have miffed him a little bit there. But I think as Liv is finally coming into their own structure of what they are, I don't think the guys that initially signed up for it are seeing the same vision that Greg Norman brought them in for, where the new management is trying to make it kind of just like all the other golf we're all very used to, which there's nothing wrong with that.
So that's where I think like Norman's model didn't really work. It was a lot of like, hey, we're going to get all this, and he couldn't deliver on what he was promising them. So he gets out, a new CEO comes in, is taking over, making the changes to kind of get them what they wanted, but not in the ways they wanted, I would say. So I agree. I think that we're seeing that writing on the wall with the Liv Tour. So I'll be interested to see what happens. I think after this season, going into 2027, is going to be a very telling time for that.
And it's a wait and see, but there's very few of us that are out there waiting to see.
I think this whole season we're going to see a lot, and this is going to be an underlying story as we move forward. All right, now let's move on to one of our favorite things, the LPGA Tour. This week, the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions was shortened to 54 holes. Now, Dave, we were in Florida, and I came back to Indiana and the weather that is here. And we left the falling iguanas that were there. The weather was pretty bad for a golf tournament when we left. Like you left, you got out luckily the day before I did, because it wasn't as snow covered in Iowa as it was in Indiana. But what do you think about this choice to shorten it by a day?
Well, first, congrats to Kelly Korda for picking up the win.
Yeah, Nelly Korda, that was a great win.
Having lived in Florida, we've all been part of the, is it a hurricane? Is it not a hurricane? And we've done the evacs, we've done everything, and nothing happens. I get both sides of the coin with this, but it's cold weather and the wind is blowing, go play golf.
Well, here's the thing. I will say, you live there. I live there. Steve currently lives there. But for you and I, we have lived through both living in Florida and knowing what it's like. You and I have been on a course in South Carolina where kids were off because of a snow day and it was flurrying and we were playing golf there.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But I feel that the South panics more for cold weather and snow and ice because they don't have the infrastructure to handle it. Whereas for a hurricane, they would have finished this event, funny enough.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I'm just making that point is that they know how to handle that type of weather. They don't know how to handle this weather.
Yeah. Is it any different than playing in Ireland?
I think it's different because the weather there, the course can get damaged, but that's going to happen during an event like this. I think it's a tough decision that you have to make. I think the commissioner of the LPGA had to make a tough decision. He made a decision, whether it was right or wrong.
It was the right decision in that moment in time.
Exactly. And they need to move forward from that. I like that he owned it and that he put out a statement saying, hey, I had to make a decision. I apologize. We will look at it different in the future and we will prepare for this because this was basically something they weren't prepared for. Yeah. They're prepared for like rain and it's obvious, but this is different.
Does where they were playing and what that course is to that community, does that factor into the decisions that was made?
I think it does. I think he would talk to the course maintenance team there. He would talk to the head pro there. And I think there was a lot of people helping with this decision there. I don't think this is just, hey, it's cold, I'm making this decision because I don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
But I think they want to have that tournament there in the future. So you don't want to piss off the people that you want to go back to. You want to keep those deals, keep those relationships. So there's a lot of things in place here. And sometimes you have to make these decisions because I have to make decisions here sometimes for the weather and opening and closures of things. And you have to make the decision based on the facts that you have. And the facts that you have seem that it's not safe for people to watch it. It's not safe for the players because they're not prepared for it. So you make a decision. Now, you can make that decision based on a forecast, and then all of a sudden it warms up and it gets great, and then you're looking around like... But you had to go on the facts that you had at the time when you.
But the fact that they still finished the 9-hole, they did 9 holes of the Pro-Am, of the Am part of it. I think that's really what caught people off guard with it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to go to this point, and then we're going to cut it off. Yeah. So I like that they made the decision, but it was interesting.
They
live and they learn.
Yep, and he came out with it, and there will be more learning to come from this decision across the board.
But speaking about being prepared on the golf course, make sure you're checking out golfish.com and you're using code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order for some of the most comfortable golf gear that you will find. Some of the best belts out there. Dave, you got the hoodie on. I love that hoodie. I got one of those as well in gray. It is the softest hoodie I have ever had. It has gone through the washing machine multiple times and has not lost any kind of softness on it. But check out golfish.com for your golfing apparel needs. I'm going to give a shout out to Red Bull. Thank you for putting Pascal Siakam on a Red Bull can. The NBA All-Star there. I want to give a shout out to him. New golfer. He's taken up golf in the last year. So congratulations on your All-Star nod. All right. We got the waste management coming up this week. It is always a party. It is always fun out there. This is an event that I think is glad that it happens one time a year. I'll be interested to see what happens this year. If they cut off alcohol sales, if how many people are arrested or detained.
It's always fun videos just watching the crowd run to 16.
I love what they did to 16.
Yeah.
They're allowing more fans in there and less luxury boxes in there.
Yes.
Which I think is great.
Why do you need luxury boxes in golf?
Well, for this one hole, I like it. I like that they do this for this one hole, one time a year.
Yeah.
Because of Tiger Woods in 1997, 29 years ago. Yes. Tiger Woods hit a hole-in-one, and that's where this craze really started. at this.
But that, it
at
was
this
so. You look at that hole-in-one as compared to now, and that area is empty.
It was not a coliseum there. It was packed with
No.
people, and I think that's
Yep.
where they saw the vision of like, what if this was an arena?
Yeah.
But I think that shot really changed this and made
Yeah.
this.
And
what
I
it is
say,
today.
why luxury boxes from three guys that enjoy being in luxury boxes, getting beverages.
we have privileges that we get, so it's really
Yes.
nice. But with that, being
Shout out
said,
to our friends that are going this week.
yes,
And we can't wait to hear about that experience, Scott.
yes, our friends at Desert Fox are going this week, so we can't wait to hear about that. All right, Dave, it is time for our picks this week. I almost went 3 for 3. I thought about
You
taking
almost
Justin Rose,
did.
and I didn't. I went with somebody else, so I'm going back to my gut this week when I make my pick. But Dave, you have the first pick this week because no one picked the winner, even though we did it 2 weeks in a row. I could have had a third week, but
Yeah.
Dave,
And
who are you going with?
you know, I was almost going to take our buddy Chris, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, Chris, right there. Boom.
Yeah,
You're not taking Mr. Goddard up. Okay.
I'm
Who
not
are
taking
you
Mr.
taking?
Goddard. I am taking Scotty.
Of course you are. Of course you're taking Scotty Scheffler. Why wouldn't you take Scotty Scheffler?
Why wouldn't you take Scotty Scheffler?
So I am going to go with a fellow Bridgestone golfer. He wears some unique hats. He is from across the pond, and Mr. Harry Hall. That's who I'm
Ooh,
taking this week. He has played well the
Um,
first 2 events this year. I think this could be a good event for him moving forward. So I'm going Harry Hall this week at the Waste
Harry Hall
Management.
coming in at 53-1
Okay.
right now. Scotty at 2.25 to 1.
I mean, Scotty's. You should have to pay more to bet on Scotty.
Yes. So Steve sent us 2 picks, and we didn't take either of them. Should we go with the one that's getting the better odds?
We should go with the one that he put first.
Okay. So he's taking Victor Hovland.
Yep.
Who's coming in right now at 37 to 1.
Okay. I think that's a good pick.
For the sake, we talked about him. Brooks Koepka has some better odds this week. He's coming in at 32. Xander, who missed the cut last week at 19. Cameron Young at 24. Hideki at 25. Goddard at 36. Harris English at 40. Sahith at 45. Jordan Spieth at 54. I'm trying to find our buddy Joel, and he is 185 to 1.
Hey, if he plays like he did last week and he has played well at this tournament before, I think that's a good odds with him. So
Yes. So there you got it. It's Phoenix is always a great time with the Super Bowl being there in San Francisco. We're just going to move from one to the next. I will give you my favorite Super Bowl prop bet so far that I've seen right now. Over under 2.5 people throwing a pass.
2.5 people throwing a pass. So you're saying that a receiver or a halfback is going to be throwing a pass at some points.
Yes.
With both these teams, actually, if it was different teams, I might think it's better odds. With this team,
There's already been footage of Cooper Kupp throwing passes, but the most interesting prop bet out there, and I've seen the Marshawn Lynch reaction to this, is will Seattle attempt a pass from the 1 yard line?
Oh, that would be pretty. I think this would be funny to see them redeem themselves in the exact same matchup, and
Yes.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But get in your Super Bowl prop bets. Enjoy the Waste Management. We will be back next week. So with that, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
All right, guys. What a round today. Cheers.
Cheers.